Welcome to another video in the RecyclerView series. So today we are going to build a RecyclerView with multiple view types. In this image, this RecyclerView contains multiple view types, and the first view type is this email item, and the second is this headers, and the third is this list of your senders. So basically I'm trying to simulate an email app that has some headers and a list of emails inside your inbox. Now the recent screen or the recent list shows the list of senders who have sent you emails recently, and once you click on a given sender, you can reply immediately. So we'll be building this today. Here I am in Android Studio. So my RecyclerView project is open, and you can find the source code for this project from the previous video in this series. Link is in the description. Let me walk you through the small changes that I've made. So in your module, I added a glide dependency. So the glide dependencies will help us display images in our list items inside our RecyclerView. In navigating to your email model, I made changes to the sender. It was a string, but now I made a data class for this. So let's navigate to the sender. So it's just a simple data class or model that has an ID, a name, and an avatar. So this avatar is annotated with a drawable resource. So this simply means that the reference for this variable will be a drawable resource. Or to simply put, the avatar property will just hold references to drawable resources. So let's navigate to email data store. I made some few changes also. I made a list of senders. Instead of adding them here manually, I made a list of them. So I made a references to these senders just so that I can reduce the redundancy. So that's the only change I've made here. Also, in your resources file, I added some resources for the individual view types. So the first item is the sender list item. So this will represent a single sender in our list of reasons. Then we have the reasons item. This will be a RecyclerView. And finally we have the header. So it's just a single text view. Okay, so now that we already have these list items, let's navigate to our mail item layout. So right now we are going to include an image view inside our card view. So this card view that shows the single character for this sender, we are going to add an image view. So this image view will represent an avatar for this single sender. So in my drawable file, I added some images, some random images that I picked from the internet. So these are the avatars that you're going to be displaying in our list. So in case you do not know how to add images inside your drawable file, just right click on your drawable file. Then you can go open it and Explorer. So once this window opens, then you can open the drawable file. Then you can paste your images inside your drawables file. So right now we are going to display these images inside our current list. So let's head back to our mail item layout. So once the sender does not have an avatar, then we'll display this text view, and when the sender has an avatar, then we'll show the avatar inside this image view. So let's get started. First, in our adapters, you're going to add a new adapter just to tell us when a particular view should be visible or not. I'm going to call this gone if. And I'm going to extend from the view. So right here, I'm going to create a new argument of type boolean, okay. So this binding adapter will hide this view or show it according to this variable. So let's go back to our mail item layout. So this is what we're doing. We want to show the first character of the sender's name onto this text view and the avatar onto this image view. So this depends. It depends with this avatar property. So when this avatar property is 0, that means this sender has no avatar. Then we would like to show the first character of the name. Otherwise, if this avatar has a drawable reference, then we would like to show the avatar onto this image view. Okay, so now let's use our binding adapter. So not equal to 0, and I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So for the image view, it's going to be equal to 0, which means we want to hide this view if the avatar is 0. So that makes sense. Okay, now since gone if binding adapter is running, then we'll get rid of this visibility property, because that's going to be handled by this binding adapter. Now what is left is to create a new binding adapter that will help this image view display images. So let's head to our adapters, and we're going to create a new method, a new binding adapter that extends from image view. So I have mine here. Okay, so I'm going to use it here. Drawable source. Okay, so I'm going to run this project so that you can see the changes. So once you run your project, then you should see the following changes. The images have now displayed in your list. Right, now that that's done, let's go ahead and define the other remaining types in this recycler view. So let's navigate to our main list adapter. The first thing you're going to do is to define these 3 types right here. So we're going to have a type email, type header, and type recent. So these are the various types that will be included in our recycler view. So the next step is to create a class that will hold all these types, and this is going to be a sealed class. We just write it below here. We'll call this email item inside this class. Then we are going to define the specific items that we require. So to start, we'll start with the email item. It's an email item. So this will hold a single email. Going to add your val. The other item is the header. So you're going to add it here. A header item. So this will just hold a single title. And the other item is going to be the reasons. So what this will hold is a list of senders. Okay, so to make these classes as part of this cell class, we're going to inherit from this cell class. So we're going to inherit from email item delegate, and the same for the remaining items. Then we're going to add one more variable for the email delegate. It's going to be an abstract val. So we want to make sure that each and every item inside our email delegate implements this ID. So let me go and implement this ID. And same here. So for the email item, right here, we're just going to return the email ID. For the header, you're going to return long.min value. And for the recent item, you're going to return the max value. Okay, so this is good. Right now we'll need a diff util for this email delegate. So we're going to create it right here. So you're going to return old item ID, new item ID, and here okay, so which means we'll be changing the type from email to email delegate, and we'll be switching the email diff util to the one that we've just created, right? So before we make changes to our mail list adapter, let us create the view holders for our remaining types. So let's navigate to inside your UI package, just create a new file. Let's call it view holders. So this this will contain the view holders for the header and the other items. So let's start with the header view holder. So for the header view holder, we have a corresponding list item, the email header list item. So right here, I'm going to add a data tag, and I'm going to add a new variable. I'll call this a header. So inside text here, I'll add a text property and show the header. So this is finished. So we'll use this binding, the email header list item binding. Then you call binding the truth. So we are going to create the view holder. So let's get our layout inflator. Then get the binding. This is our binding. Then we're going to return the header view holder and pass the binding. Then here we're going to bind the data and we'll pass here an item that's of type string. So we have a header in our XML file and we'll give it the item. Okay, so this view holder is done. So let's proceed to the reasons view holder. And we also have a corresponding list item. It's going to be a RecyclerView. Email reasons list item binding. That's the one. So I'm just going to copy most of this information and I'll just change it. Starting with this, it's going to be a reasons view holder. Then I'm going to copy this binding, paste it here. It's going to be reasons. And this item will be a list of type sender. Okay, so let's navigate. So right here, right, so we have this, we have to initialize this recycler view so that we can display our list of senders. I'm going to initialize our recent list right here. I'm going to give it a linear layout manager. Okay, right now we need a context. Let me just context. And we also need an adapter. Let me just pass here the context. Now we need to create an adapter for our recent list. So down here, we are going to create a new adapter. So I had created an adapter. So right now we have a recycler adapter that takes in data that is a list of the senders. Then it initializes the items with this data. And right here in the sender view holder, I'm creating here in the from method, and I'm binding this data right here. So let me navigate to this sender list item. Alright, so this is what this is how it looks like, and we have this sender variable right here that we're supposed to bind it with our views. So in this text view, then you're supposed to extract the first name of the character, or we hide it. So it's just the same with the email. So you're going to do the same still. I'm going to call gonif. And right here I'm going to copy this. So this will be equals to 0. Then finally, there is this binding adapter for setting the first character. Up. Okay, so this will extract the first character, and this will make sure that it's gone if the avatar is not 0. Okay, so that's it. So this is the list item, and we bind the data as shown. So that's pretty much it in the RecyclerView adapter. So we're going to take this sender RecyclerView adapter, then we're going to use this data item. Okay, so that should solve this. One more thing before I forget, let's navigate back to our sender list item. So this image view, we've not given it a binding adapter to bind our images. So let me just take you back to the adapters. So we have this adapter here, drawable source, that you're supposed to set it up with this image. So let me just do that. Okay, so this should show this image. So right now we are done with the view holders. I want us to navigate to our main list adapter and make changes so that we can support these multiple view types. So first we are going to remove this mail view holder and place it back into the view holders. So let me remove it from here. I'm going to place it on top. So our main list adapter now looks somehow clean. So now you're going to start refactoring some of this code. So first we're going to remove this email. It's going to be email delegate, email item delegate, and then we're going to, for the RecyclerView view holder, instead of just holding a single view holder, we'll tell the list adapter that it's going to take multiple view holders. So we're going to call RecyclerView.view holder. And for the diff util, we have an email delegate diff util. Okay, so now Android Studio is telling us that we have some errors. So first, it's this argument mail view holder. So we're going to change this to RecyclerView view holder. Okay. So there's one more method that I want us to implement in our mail list adapter, and that is get item view type. So right here, let's set this up. You're going to call get item position. Email delegate, email item, then we're going to provide the type email. And if it's of type email delegate header, then you're going to give type header. And finally, so this is the reasons item, type reasons. Okay, so this should handle our view types. Now on bind view holder, so right here we're going to check the instance of this holder. So our view holders are here, mail view holder, then let's get the item, then we're going to cast it as email item delegate email item. Then we're going to call holder.bind, the item, then the click listener. So make sure you pass the email item instead, right here. So we're going to do the same for the other view holders. So right now we have this header view holder, and the reasons view holder. So you're also going to do the same here. with this item, but instead of email little get email item, you're going to call it to give it head item. Then again, I'll call holder to bind. The title. And here, this is the recent item. Senders. So I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, you're required to pass context. Okay, so this is fixed. And for our create view holder, right here we're going to use a when statement again and check our view types. So we'll refer from these view types right now. So this is going to be a return statement. Let's get rid of this. So in type email, we want to call the mail view holder and call from and pass the parent. In header, you have the header view holder from parent again, and here we have the reasons view holder. So this return type is going to be RecyclerView .view holder. Then I'm going to add an else statement here. So in case there's an else, then you're going to throw an illegal argument exception and say this is an unknown view type. Okay, so we finished the engineering for our RecyclerView. Okay, that's good. So now the last thing that is left is to format our data and pass it into this mail list adapter. So let's navigate to our main activity. So right here, we are going to change how we are going to pass data into this adapter. So right above here, let's format this data. So at first we'll start with the header item, email delegate item dot head item, and you'll give it the title. This is going to be a reasons. Then we're going to give the list of reasons. Reasons item. So our reasons are from email data store. The senders. Then we're going to create another title. This is another header, and this is your inbox. Then here you're going to create your list of emails. So our emails are from email letter store, inbox. So we map this data and call email item delegate email item. Then we pass it, and we make sure this is not null. So this it is coming from this map function. You just call it email. So this is how basically you format this data. So in case you have another header you want to add, you can just copy this and add another item just below here. So mostly you will do this dynamically, especially when you have an app that is in production. You'll just do this dynamically instead of just hard coding it as I've done it here. So when that's done, we just pass data here instead of this inbox. Okay, so that's it. Let's run our app. So when you run the app, this is what you'll see. Okay, this is just weird. This is just what this means is that we've just given a wrong orientation for our manager, and we've even forgotten the names, to display the names here. But the app, I can see that it works just fine. So let's go and change this. So instead of mail list adapter, sorry, the view holders, right here inside our sender recycle adapter. Hold on. Okay. Inside our reasons view holder, this reasons list, we've given it a vertical orientation. So let's make this horizontal. So let's navigate to our sender list item so that we can add these titles right here. So that's it. And one more thing, in our main activity, when you're working on production code and you're formatting your data on the UI thread, it might not be that safe. So I want to show you guys how to do this in a background thread using coroutines. So let's navigate to our mail list adapter. So right here we're going to create a scope, default dispatcher scope. Coroutine scope dispatches the default. So we'll have a coroutine working in the default dispatches. So right after get item view type, you're going to write a new function, and this is to format and submit. So this will take a list of our inbox, our list of emails, and our senders or reasons. Let me just call it reasons. list of type sender. Then right here you can just call the default dispatcher and call launch. Then we're going to take all this and just remove that. You're going to paste it here. So the senders list here will be our reasons, and our inbox will be from this inbox here. Okay, then right here, let's switch this scope into a UI thread or into the main thread, then call submit. So in our main activity, instead of calling submit, we're going to call format and submit. And it's going to be senders. Okay, so let's run our app again. So once you run your app again, then you should see these changes. So it's now working perfectly. So if you like the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like and a comment. And do me a favor, share this video with your friends and family. Thank you.